Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of your introduction to MK Ultra trauma-based mind control programming through the story of Cathy and Kelly O'Brien, among many others that will happen after I introduce you to Cathy. The reason I wanted to start with Cathy is because her story spans back to the 70s. Her daughter, Kelly, was initiated into this disgusting practice from the moment she came out of Cathy's womb, okay? This is how nasty this is. And this is the reason that we cannot break free from this, is because it's so ugly to look at that unless it is right in your face, people don't want to deal with it. And even when it is in your face, people don't want to deal with it. They do not want to admit that the man that they loved and honored and cherished was doing these horrible, horrible things behind closed doors and leading a double life. Nobody wants to admit that their mother perpetrated these acts when she should have been protecting the children and not encouraging this incredibly bad behavior. Nobody wants to admit their part in something so devious and disgusting, because if it was an act of God and if it was an act of humanity, there would be no need to hide it. This is the moment of the awakening where all of the truths come out. There can be no more lies because we can't function under the system anymore, you guys. That's why it's all coming down, right? This document is called the Trance-formation of America. It is available widely online. Cathy has encouraged us to spread her story. And she is the reason that I became a quantum healer. She is the reason that I am doing what the healing that I'm doing and releasing suffering. She is the reason that I went down the road of MK Ultra programming, hypnosis, multiple personality disorder, schizophrenia. Because my grandmother was labeled schizophrenic and she wasn't. She was horribly traumatized at the age of 5 years old when her parents disappeared in the early 20s. They just disappeared. To this day, none of us know what happened to my great-grandparents. They left one day to go to work to sell their shoe polish or whatever, and they never came back. And they left 7 children, 4 girls and 3 boys, alone. And those boys did horrible things to those girls. My grandmother was the youngest, and they did it to her too. And a big reason why we have this problem on this planet to this day is the secrecy. Because the victims and the survivors hold the shame and the guilt of those that did the deeds. You don't have to hold that. My specialty is letting you release all of that suffering without re-traumatizing you. If that resonates with you, please contact me at divinesophia65.com and book a quantum energy healing session with me. Within 2 hours, depending on how severe your trauma is, could take up to 6. But I can release you and get you into your life without all of that. Okay? So that's so much for that plug. It is time to tell the stories. It is time to expose those that keep this cycle going because they use it to control everybody else. We are seeing the collapse of the matrix as we know it. We are seeing the collapse of financial systems, the governmental systems, the human and health services system. We are seeing a destruction of all of it. It is happening right now because it can no longer be sustained. It is out of balance. There is too much pain, anger, control, abuse, aggression in this world. It's out of balance. And the reign of terror can no longer stand. Now, I happen to know a lot about the Illuminati, the Masons, the Anunnaki, the Sumerians, the Nibiru, all of it, you guys. That's how I got popular in the first place on TikTok. And I will tie all of that in as we go along. But you guys want to know the names? Let's start with Gerald Ford. Gerald Ford is the first name that I want to bring up. Once you all understand how high level this corruption is, and that this is what we have to break in order for anything to change, you've got to be willing to hear the stories. And I will present the stories without re-traumatizing anyone. I'm not here to put you through more suffering. I am here to release you of it. And whatever your story is, no matter how horrific, if you are a perpetrator and you're trying to find peace in your heart because you are no longer willing or wanting to hurt others, I will help you. There's no judgment in my room. Only release of suffering. Only by walking in the hand of God. Only by knowing that we are all one and we are not here to suffer. So please, divinesophia65.com, quantum energy healing session with me. And if you want to hear more about Gerald Ford, yes, the former U.S. president, we'll see you in the next episode.